Hey y'all, take a look at your pop quiz for today. Take out a sheet of paper, pause it, and do those 10 as quickly and accurately and mentally as you possibly can. All right, go ahead to it. All right, let's do this together very quickly. Let's run through these. You should be getting faster at these, okay? That's going to be 30 with 3 zeros. That's 30,000. This will be 48 with 2 zeros, 4,800. This will be 60. This is going to be 11 with 2 zeros, 1,100. This is going to be a 60. Don't forget that extra zero. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or my annual. Okay. This is your trick where you move it, so that's 9 times 90, or 810. This is going to be 3 times 400, or 1,200. This will be twice over 2, twice over 800. 800 times 2, 1,600. This to a decimal is a simple division problem, and that is 0.52, and percent, of course, is 52%. Okay? Pause it here and try these 4 problems as a warm-up, mental as much as humanly possible. Okay, go ahead. All right, this is the breakup problem. 60 times 4, 240. 8 times 4, 32. 240 plus 32, there you go. This, of course, is exactly the same problem as that one. That's how you should look at it as. No zeros, no decimals. 68 times 4 is 272. The only thing that's reasonable, you could, if you wanted to, go over here and do this first. That's a 4. No zero, it'll be 2720. This is the same type of problem. That's 240 plus 42, which is 282. Now, this is kind of funky right here. Look at that thing. You ever think you could do something like that in your head before? I mean, look at this. 4.7 times 0.6, and somebody said, can you do that? You go, yeah, 2.82. Person goes, what? Will you marry me? No, okay. If that happens, run, all right? Yeah, it's the same problem. This is the same problem as that, 47 times 6, and a little more than half of 4.7, 2.82. There you go, okay. All right, warm up part 2. Pause this and do these as much as possible in your head. All right, we're looking at 0.2 times 9,000. Move it over. That's 2 times 900, 1,800. That's number 1, 1,800. Number 2, 0.6 times 1,200. Move it over. Not 0.6, 6. Not 1,200, 120. 6 times 120 is 720. 3, 70% of 84. Now this is a little more difficult. Okay, but it's what we did last week. Same thing, right? In your brain, you should look at this and go, not 70% of 84, 7 times 84. And then you go, okay, 84 times 7. 80 times 7, 560. 4 times 7, 28. What's 560 plus 28? 588. That's not reasonable because it's only part of 84. There's your reasonable. If you didn't do that 100% in your head, that's okay. It'll come to a point where you can. All right, 35% of 40, you should be thinking 35 times 4. That's it. 30 times 4 is 120. 5 times 4 is 20. So 120 plus 20 is 140. The small part of 40 is only going to be 14.0. That's your reasonable answer. Okay. Let's look at our next trick. This is called ratios and fractional word problems. Now, these drive people out of their minds in Algebra 1 books, even Algebra 2 books, I've seen them in. I'm going to give you 2 different methods to do this. This is not a mental thing, by the way. This is a method. This week is not mental. This is a method I want you to learn. 2 methods, actually. Know how to do either one, but you can feel free to choose either one the rest of your life to do if you come across these problems, okay? All right, this is an example. Copy this down. 30% of what number is 75? 30% of what number is 75? 2 methods. Ready for method 1? I want you to turn those words into an equation. Turn those words into an equation, right? 30% of what number is 75? In other words, let's write this. You know how to do this. 30%, 0.3. Of means to multiply. What number? I don't know. X. Is equals 75. Now, if you've done algebra before, you know how to solve a problem like this. It's too spread out here. Let's figure it out. So 0.3x equals 75. And all you need to do is just divide by 0.3 on both sides. And we have 75 divided by 0.3. So, and move that over, and then move this over to a 0. 3 into that is 250. So 30% of 250 is 75. Yep, that works. Just go left to right, just like you're reading, turn it into an algebraic equation if that's your bag. The second way to do this is to write two empty fractions equal to each other and fill in the blanks. All right? So let's do that. So you don't even have to think about it. Just go fraction equals fraction and fill in the blanks. Obviously, we need 4 things here, right? We're going to have to find 4 things to put here, 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 and here out of this sentence right there. All right? Well, if you look at this part right here, 30%, well, that gives you 2 of them already, right? You can do 3 over 10 if you want, or you can do 3 over 100, whatever. What number? We'll call that x, right? And then the 75 is what we're, the other one. Okay, the only problem is, when you look at this, where does the x go? Does it go on top or does it go on the bottom? Okay, to figure that out, if you're a visual learner, you might have to draw a picture, okay? If you're a nasal learner, you might have to just sniff the screen, so you may do that. Feel free to do that at any time. Okay, 30% of what number is 75? Let's make a visual out of this, right? 30% is like, I don't know, that much of this whole thing, right? So this part is 75. So the number we're looking for, is it going to be bigger than 75 or is it going to be less than 75? Well, obviously it's going to be bigger, right? All you need to do is match the other fraction. The bigger number is on the bottom of this fraction. So the bigger number needs to be on the bottom of this fraction too. And in this case, it's going to be the x, and this will be the 75. Now you know what to do at this point. You probably heard of cross multiplying, okay? So 3 times x is 3x. 75 times 10 is 750. And of course, if you divide by 3, you get 250 just like you did before. Okay, let's try another one. What is 26% of 50? All right, well, let's go ahead and try both methods. All right, so let's just go left to right. And if you want to copy this down and make yourself little, you know, like this, that might be helpful to do something like that. If you're a nasal learner, just feel free to sniff the screen at any time. Okay, let's break this up into pieces. What? If you don't know what something is in algebra, just call it x. Is equals 26%, just call it 0.26. Of, multiply 50. There you go. And remember your trick. You don't have to even mess with this anymore. No decimals, no zeros, so just go 26 times 5, right? 26 times 5. 20 times 5 is 50. 6 times 5 is 30. So, no, excuse me, 20 times 100, so 130. But you know that's not right. A small percentage of 50 is 100. No, it's 13.0. There we go. That's your answer. Now the other method of doing this was the just, I'm going to draw a fraction and equal to a fraction and fill in the blanks, okay? We got what? We got 26%, that's 2 numbers, and we got 50, okay? 26%, piece of cake, that's 26 over 100. Now the only question is, where does the, x goes here, x goes there, let's draw a picture, and a nasal sniff anytime. Okay, so 26% of 50, let's say that this is 50 right here, the whole thing, right? And the what we're looking for is like right there, that's the 26%. Well, obviously, the what is going to be smaller than 50, right? Okay, so the smaller number is on top, the smaller number is the x, let's make that to 50. So 100 times x is 100x, 26 times 50 is 1300, and you can just chop off 2 zeros on both sides, and then you go, x equals 13, piece of cake, okay. Now this is a little bit strange, but very doable. See if you can go, pause it, see if you can go left to right and just make yourself an algebraic equation. You don't have to solve it unless you want to, but just see if you can do the equation. So go ahead and pause it. Okay, let's take a look. All right, 40%, 0.4 of times What number? X. So 0.4x is equals 28. That's your equation. You might have spread yours out, and that's okay. If you do spread it out, go ahead and make it nice and tight here at the end. Okay, so all we need to do is just go, okay, 28 divided by 0.4. So, and 0.4 into 28, move it over, that's going to be 70. There you go. The other way, don't forget, the fraction way. Ooh, and there we go. 40%, you can just say 4/10 if you want. What number in 28? That's the only problem. Which one goes where? And if you want to draw a picture, 40% of some number is 28. So you go, well, okay, this is 40%, and it's 28. So what number we're looking for? Oh, it's bigger than 28. Yeah. So the 28 will go here, and the unknown number will go there. And that's all there is to it. So you can go 4 times x, 10 times 28, and you divide by 4, you get 70 just like you always would. Okay? All right, let's try this one. 24 is what percent of 96? Now this is different. What looks different about this problem? There's something different about it. We have a what percent, right? Okay, two quick questions for you. How do you write 71% as a fraction? 71 over 100, right? How do you write 93% as a fraction? 93 over 100, right? How do you write what percent as a fraction? X over 100, right? That's all you got to do. We'll figure that out in a second. Okay, so let's just go left to right. 24 is what percent? X over 100 of 96 times 96. All right? And you can go ahead and attach this 96 to the top here. Or what you can do is you could say 96 over 100 times x, and put x in the middle there, equals 24. And this kind of thing drives me up the wall. I can't stand doing this kind of thing. I like the x's on the left side, so I'm just going to rewrite the whole thing. 96 hundredths x equals 24. Okay, so what we're going to have to do, obviously, to undo the 96 over 100 is to multiply by 100 over 96. So times this by 100 over 96. That goes away to never be seen again. And then we have, we could actually do some reducing if you want to, because 24 goes into 96 exactly 4 times. So we have now 100 divided by 4, which is, of course, 25, which is right. 24 is 25% of 96. And there you go. Now, if you didn't like that way, you wanted to do the fraction equals fraction, fine, go ahead. 24, we got 96, and we got what percent? Well, let's just do what percent. X over 100. Now, is 24 more than 100% of 96 or less than 100% of 96? Obviously, it's less, right? Okay, so we're going to have the lesser number on the top, like that. So you just cross multiply 96 times x is 2400. I don't think if you wanted to mess with this, you would do the same thing, just find it was 25. Okay. All right, pause it and try these three, excuse me. Okie doke, let's take a look and see what we got here. What is 60% of 125? I'm just going to go left to right with an algebra one. So what is 60%? I'll just call it 6 over 10. Or actually, we could just do 0.6 of 125. And we do the multiplication, and that's going to be 75. There you go. Here's another one. 60 is 80% of what number? Well, let's try the other way. The fraction equals fraction. We got a 60, we got 80%, and we got what number? Let's just do 80% first. Let's just call it 8 over 10. Now 60 is a part of some number. There's the 60. It is 80% of some number. And of course the number will be bigger than the 60, right? Well, if the bigger number is on the bottom here, put the bigger number on the bottom of there. So that's going to be 60. Cross multiply 8 times x is 8x equals 60 times 10. And you do the division, and then there you go. That's 75 as well. All right, 32 is what percent of 160? Well, we can go left to right on an algebra problem if you like. 32 is what percent of 160, I hate the way this looks, I'm going to rewrite it, 160 over 100 times x equals 32. And I'm going to cut this down to 16 over 10. Nope, I'm going to cut it down again, 8 over 5. So my new problem is 8 over 5x equals 32. Okay, good. To get rid of that, we have to multiply by 5/8. And of course, we do the same thing over here. And 32 and 8 cancel. That's going to be a 4 times 5, which is 20. There we go. That's all there is to it. Okay. All right. And let's try a real quick practice. Pause it and try this very quickly. All right, this should be getting pretty fast for you, right? We got a 6 here and 5 zeros, 600,000. This one we have a 9 and 1 0, 90. This one we have over 1 4, over here to the left 700, so 2,800. This is 3 over an 11. This is 3 over an 80. 80 times 11 is 880. 6/25 as a decimal is 0.24. The percent is 24%. 0.44 as a fraction, don't forget, it'll be 44 hundredths. Or if you want to break it down, 22 fiftieths. Or if you want to break it down, 11 25ths. The percentage, of course, will be 44%. Okay, pause it and try this part here. All right, you should have gone 40 times 8 is 320. 2 times 8 is 16. 320 plus 16 is 336. This goes over, now this is a weird one. Look at this thing. If you go over 1, that's going to be 42 times 0.8. But if you go over twice, that's going to be 8 times 4.2. It doesn't matter. Let's just pretend it's 4.2 times 8. Well, if you notice, that's the same thing as this problem. These are the numbers you're going to get. But 4 times 8, a little more, will be 33.6. Make sure it's reasonable, okay? If you notice 3 and 4 are the same problem, really, too. The answer to number 3 is going to be 420 plus 18, or 438. And, of course, 7.3 times that will be 43.8. Okay, all right. 30% of 9,000, don't forget your method, 0.3 times 9,000, or 3 times 900, or 2,700. 32% of 9,000 will be 0.32 times 9,000, or twice 32 times 90. Well, forget the 0. What's 32 times 9? 30 times 9 is 270. 2 times 9 is 18. 270 plus 18 is 288. That's not reasonable. It needs to be bigger. 2880. Boom. There you go. Okay. All right. Try this one and see how you do. And that'll be our last slide. Pause it. Okay. Everybody loves camp. All right. Lots of spider eggs, lots of campers. We got 24 and we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, which is $2,400,000 or okay. All right, 6% got poison ivy. Well, in other words, we're trying to figure out what is 0.06, not 0.6, times 30,000 over twice 6. Over twice 300, 300 times 6, 1,800. All right, last one fell into the lake. Oh, brother. 600 and 22% of them fell into the lake. Well, don't forget, your problem is 600 times 0.22. Now, you should be right on the edge of going, I can do this in my head. I got it. You move it over twice for 22, right? We get 22. You move it over the other way, you get 6. So what is 6 times 22? 132. That's it. There you go. Okay. All right. You guys have a great week. I will see you next time. Do those worksheets day by day by day by day. So, see ya.